It was a warm summer afternoon in a quiet park. People strolled leisurely, joggers passed by with earbuds in, and kids played on the swings. Amid this scene, a small lemonade stand sat in the corner, almost unnoticed. A simple, hand-drawn sign read, "Lemonade for Chemo. Every cup helps." Behind the stand was Emily, a 9-year-old girl with bright eyes and a hopeful smile. Her table wobbled slightly on uneven ground, the mismatched cups barely staying in place. Emily's voice rang out as she called to passers-by, but most walked on without stopping. What Emily didn't know was that someone very important had noticed her. A man, dressed casually in a baseball cap and sunglasses, stood a short distance away, quietly observing her determination. That man was Elon Musk, and he was about to turn Emily's world upside down. The idea had come to Emily one night as she lay awake in bed. Her family was going through tough times, and she had overheard her parents whispering in the next room. "I don't know how we'll manage her next treatment, Carlos," her mom, Rebecca, said softly. "We're running out of options." "We'll figure it out," Carlos replied, but his voice sounded defeated. Emily clutched her stuffed bear tightly. She hated seeing her parents so worried. The next morning, as she watched TV, she saw a cartoon where kids ran lemonade stands for fun. That gave her an idea. She grabbed some markers and cardboard and spent the whole afternoon making a sign. "Do you think this will work, Mom?" she asked, holding it up proudly. Rebecca knelt beside her and gave her a warm hug. "It's perfect, sweetheart. You're doing something brave, and I know people will see that." By sunrise, Emily had set up her stand. Her mom helped pour the first batch of lemonade, and her little brother sat nearby, coloring on the grass. Emily's excitement was contagious, and Rebecca couldn't help but smile despite their struggles. Life hadn't always been this hard for Emily's family. Carlos had worked at a factory for years, earning enough to support his family comfortably. But when the factory shut down, everything changed. Suddenly, they were living paycheck to paycheck, relying solely on Rebecca's job at the local diner. To make matters worse, Emily had been diagnosed with leukemia just months earlier. The treatments were grueling, and the costs were overwhelming. Rebecca started picking up double shifts, often coming home long after the kids had gone to bed. Emily could see the toll it was taking on her parents. Her dad spent hours looking for jobs, often coming back empty-handed. Her mom tried to hide her tears, but Emily noticed. One night, Emily asked, "Why is this happening to us, Mom? Did I do something wrong?" Rebecca hugged her tightly. "Oh, sweetie, no. You're the strongest person I know. Sometimes life is hard, but we're going to get through this together. I promise." On the second day of running her lemonade stand, a homeless man approached. His clothes were torn and his shoes were barely holding together. He stopped a few feet away, hesitating as he looked at the stand. "Would you like some lemonade?" Emily asked, her voice cheerful. The man hesitated. "I don't have any money," he mumbled, looking down. Emily smiled and poured him a cup anyway. "That's okay. Everyone deserves a cold drink on a hot day." The man took the cup with shaking hands. "Thank you. You're a good kid," he said, his voice filled with gratitude. From a nearby bench, a man watched the scene unfold. He leaned forward, resting his elbows on his knees, his sunglasses hiding the curiosity in his eyes. Elon Musk had stopped in the park for a short break. He had been traveling to a nearby Tesla facility for a meeting and decided to stretch his legs. As he walked, the sign on Emily's stand caught his attention. "Lemonade for Chemo." He approached the stand, intrigued. "Lemonade for Chemo?" he asked, reading the sign aloud. Emily looked up at him, a little nervous but determined. "Yes, sir. It's for my treatments and to help my family." Elon crouched down to her level, his interest growing. "And you thought of this all by yourself?" Emily nodded. "I just want to help. My mom and dad are working so hard, but I wanted to do something too." Elon smiled. "That's incredible, Emily. You're a very smart young lady." He pulled out his wallet and handed her a $100 bill. "Here, this is for your hard work." Emily's eyes widened. "Thank you so much." Elon took out his phone and snapped a picture of her stand. "Mind if I share your story with a few people?" Emily nodded shyly. "I guess that's okay." As he walked away, whispers began to ripple through the park. Wait, isn't that Elon Musk? Later that evening, Carlos's phone rang. He glanced at the unfamiliar number and almost didn't answer, but something told him to pick up. "Hello?" "Hi, Mr. Rodriguez," said a polite voice. "This is Emily from Elon Musk's team. Mr. Musk was deeply moved by your daughter's story and would like to help." Carlos blinked, unsure if he had heard correctly. "Elon Musk? The Elon Musk?" "Yes," the voice replied with a laugh. "He'd like to cover Emily's medical expenses and discuss ways to support your family further." Carlos's hands shook as he held the phone. I don't know what to say." Rebecca, overhearing the call, grabbed his arm. "What's happening?" she whispered. Carlos covered the phone and whispered back, "It's Elon Musk. He wants to help Emily." Tears filled Rebecca's eyes as she realized their prayers were being answered. The next morning, Elon Musk posted on Twitter, "Met an incredible young girl selling lemonade for Chemo. Let's help her out." The tweet exploded. Within hours, Emily's story was trending worldwide. News outlets picked it up, and donations started pouring in. Rebecca scrolled through her phone, stunned by the messages of support. "Emily, people from all over the world are sending money to help you." Emily looked at the screen, her eyes wide with disbelief. "Really? They're helping me?" "Yes, sweetie. You've inspired so many people." Inspired by Emily's bravery, kids across the country started their own lemonade stands, raising money for families in need. The hashtag #LemonadeForChemo became a symbol of hope and resilience. Local businesses held fundraisers, and neighbors brought food and supplies to Emily's family. The once quiet park now buzzed with activity as people came to meet the girl who had captured the nation's heart. One elderly woman handed Emily a jar of coins. "You've reminded us all that kindness can change the world," she said, tears in her eyes. Carlos received an email from Tesla about a job opening at a nearby factory. Musk had personally ensured his application would be reviewed. After weeks of interviews, Carlos was offered the position. "I got the job," he shouted, holding the offer letter. "We're going to be okay, Rebecca." Rebecca hugged him tightly. "This is the miracle we needed." Emily's small act of kindness created a ripple effect that spread far beyond her small town. Food drives, fundraisers, and community initiatives sprang up across the country, all inspired by her story. Emily, unaware of the full impact of her actions, simply smiled as she poured another cup of lemonade. A few weeks later, Elon Musk returned to Emily's home with a surprise: a solar-powered lemonade stand equipped with state-of-the-art features. "This is for you, Emily," he said, placing the keys in her hand. "You're an entrepreneur, and every entrepreneur needs the right tools." Emily beamed. "Thank you, Mr. Musk. It's amazing." Elon Musk also announced that he would fund Emily's education and provide mentorship opportunities through Tesla. "You've got a bright future ahead of you," he told her. "I want to make sure nothing holds you back." Emily hugged him tightly. "Thank you. I'll make you proud." Emily's friend Maya and other kids in the neighborhood started their own lemonade stands inspired by her story. Together, they raised funds for families in need, creating a ripple effect of generosity and community spirit. Maya set up her stand just a block away with a sign that read, "Lemonade for Hope, inspired by Emily." One afternoon, Maya walked over to Emily's stand with a smile. "You've started something big, Emily. Look at all these kids helping out." Emily giggled, handing Maya a cup of lemonade. "We're all in this together. The more, the merrier." The neighborhood kids joined forces, organizing weekly lemonade events and even hosting a community festival. People came from neighboring towns to support the cause, and soon, the movement expanded beyond anyone's expectations. What began as a simple lemonade stand turned into a nationwide movement. Emily's story inspired people from all walks of life to take action. Schools hosted lemonade drives, corporations matched donations, and even celebrities started sharing the story. One evening, as Emily sat with her parents, Rebecca turned to her. "Do you realize how many lives you've touched, Emily?" Emily shrugged, her cheeks turning red. "I just wanted to help our family." Carlos smiled, placing his hand on her shoulder. "And you've done so much more than that. You've given hope to people everywhere." Across the country, other families struggling with similar hardships found support through the #Lemonade for Chemo movement. Food pantries were stocked, medical bills were paid, and communities came together like never before. Emily's journey proved that even the smallest act of kindness could spark extraordinary change. What started as a little girl's effort to help her family grew into a global phenomenon. In an interview with a local news station, Emily held up a glass of lemonade and smiled. "Sometimes, all it takes is one person to notice. If you believe in something, don't be afraid to try." Her words resonated with millions, reminding everyone that change begins with a single step. So, what would you do if you had the chance to make a difference? Share Emily's story, and remember, a little lemonade can go a long way. The story of Emily and her lemonade stand will forever be a testament to the power of kindness, resilience, and the extraordinary things that can happen when someone like Elon Musk notices a small act of love.